Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Joanne, and in this video I want to share with you my bag alternatives, or hacks if you want to say, tips and tricks in regards to saving money on luxury pieces. So I'm going to actually divide this video into three sort of sections. So the first section I'm going to talk about is actually taking a different item from that brand and then converting it into a bag or adding straps or whatever you want in order for it to be more versatile for yourself or more suitable for your lifestyle. So of course the one that I want to talk about first is the nylon pouches. So I have two. I have of course this Prada nylon pouch as well as this Burberry nylon pouch. I have multiple videos on both of these pouches, how I've converted them, where I've purchased all those sorts of things. So I will leave those videos down in the description box if you're interested in finding a little bit more about these. But these two are both from the brand. So this is Burberry and Prada, are both from their full like boutique brands. They're not outlet pieces as well. And they are fantastic quality, but really comparable to some of their more expensive pieces. So if we're talking about Prada specifically, this is I think in their travel section, or it's in their travel accessories or pouches, I'm not sure. But this comes just as a nylon pouch. It has, of course, this little wristlet strap. They have a nylon crossbody bucket bag currently, and last I looked, it was around, I think, $2,200 Canadian, which I think is crazy for a nylon piece. But it is really honestly just like this, except of course I think it's a little bit bigger in size. But aside from that, it has like a pocket in the front, and then it has just a crossbody strap, and I think it also has like a short handheld strap as well. And that's pretty much it. And I think, in my opinion, that is a crazy amount of money to spend on a nylon crossbody bag, no matter the brand. I know you're paying for the brand, but that is a lot. Now in comparison, this Prada nylon pouch, which you can still purchase from their website, is, last I looked, about $895 Canadian, which is still a lot of money. It has definitely increased a ton since I first purchased this pouch, but regardless, that's less than half the price. And really, if you purchase the straps and the bag organizer and convert it into a crossbody bag, you save a ton of money, and it's legitimately from the brand as well, a full line piece as well. And yeah, I've gotten so much use out of this. I honestly don't know if I would purchase this at the price it is today, but I do have this constantly in my rotation, and it's, if I ever do a most used bag video, which I've done recently, this is usually always in that list because I've gotten so much use out of it, and I honestly love the look of this. When I purchased this pouch specifically, so that was back in 2020, it was $460 Canadian. So it has, within those years, has gone up substantial amount. So, but regardless, there's other brands that are still lower price. So if you take this Burberry nylon pouch, this I think is called the Phoebe nylon pouch, but it is no longer sold, I think, in Burberry. It was, but it's no longer sold, so you'll have to go either in the secondhand market, or you'll go to sites. I think I saw the black version, or maybe this one as well, still being sold on like sites like My Teresa, so you can still grab those there. This also comes in an all black version, and I've seen floating around other designs of this pouch as well. And so I've done the same thing. I've added a strap to this and a bag organizer, and it's been such a fantastic nylon bucket bag for really casual wear usually, and if it's everything that I need. Really along the same lines though, there are so many different options that I've seen other people do as well. So for example, this is again less of that higher end price, but something like the ever so popular Longchamp pouch with handle. This was definitely cheaper than their larger size. Like even their extra small Le Pliage, I believe, is much more expensive than something like this. And you can add, you know, straps to this if you want to make it and convert it into your crossbody, or you can just use it as a small handheld little bag. And that's how I've been using this, and I've been loving it. So something like that. And there's tons of other brands. I'm gonna put some pictures up of other brands, like Hermes has, I think it's like the Bric-a-Brac pouch that I've seen people use as a bag, and it's more of like a toiletry case, but it doesn't really specifically look like one, and you can definitely use it as, again, a small handheld bag, and it's much cheaper than some of their other pieces, of course, in their line. Other ideas, of course, I've seen is taking a full-size wallet and adding a strap to it, and that literally converts it into a wallet on chain or wallet on strap, so something very comparable and definitely going to be much cheaper than if you were to purchase a really small clutch or something from that same brand. Of course, adding in terms of like certain toiletry cases, adding straps, those sorts of things. And of course, also I've seen recently some brands are, I think, is it Celine? I can't really remember, Loewe. It slips my mind right now, but having purchased sunglasses from them, it comes with a little sunglass case that actually is also like a crossbody bag. So definitely explore those options for brands if you're really looking for a more cheaper alternative than buying a full priced like crossbody bag that they're marketing as an actual bag. So I find being creative with these things, and especially if you really like the look of it, is definitely worth it. So the next part I want to talk about is definitely vintage and the secondhand. I absolutely love purchasing secondhand. Vintage, I'm a little bit more picky with. I find there's a lot of pieces you have to sort through before you find the gem, but when you find that piece, it's such a game changer. You save so much money, and usually the quality is really good, especially if you find something in amazing condition. So obviously, secondhand, you save a ton of money. I always recommend looking that route, especially when you want something and it's no longer made. Secondhand is always really great, and especially nowadays, I find consignment stores have really blown up, especially compared to the past when I was still looking for pieces. I found it a lot less common, at least where I live as well. I've definitely found an influx of consignment shops popping up. So especially if you go for like the luxury consignment shops, you can find some great pieces and save a ton of money. And in some cases, they're basically brand new, comes with all the packaging. So if you want to save money, that's definitely a perfect route. I have an example of a vintage piece that I found. So I also have a video on my channel, which I will link down below if you're interested, but this is no longer made. It's the Louis Vuitton Trousse makeup pouch. I definitely am not pronouncing that perfectly, but this has been a fantastic piece. I've used it so much since I've purchased it, and it is the perfect little small mini crossbody bag for me. I purchased the strap, so inside it just sits up like that, and I just tucked the strap on the inside. But I purchased the strap separately. Again, it's all linked in that original video that I did of this bag, but this clips onto the D-rings that it already came with, and it fits everything that I would need. It fits my phone, my wallet, keys, just some like a small pouch for like my daily essentials. Fits it all. It's great. There's zero issues with the coated canvas. It's in really great condition, and I'd say anything comparable to it right now for Louis Vuitton would be a substantial amount more, especially if you even compare like the mini pochette. Right now that I last looked, it's $950 Canadian, which is crazy. I know it used to be a lot cheaper, so obviously few years ago it would have been much more comparable in price to this. Altogether with this bag and the strap, it came out to I think about $725 Canadian. So for me, in comparison to any other piece that they currently have, this is by far much cheaper. I'm so happy to have found this, but again, when you go searching for things, you can really find some gems out there. An example, this is not of course a handbag, this is an SLG. But something that I also have gotten so much good use out of is this Louis Vuitton little wallet. This is also vintage. They no longer make this as well. And this has been such a great piece to have. And I can't even remember how much I purchased this for. I have a video on this as well. And yeah, compared to even their cheapest SLG, which is, I think it's probably their, I want to say their coated canvas business card case for like a compact kind of card holder wallet. That one I still think is now upwards to mid 300s, or yeah, I think it's mid 300s for like in Canadian for that one. And this one is such a great piece, and I definitely got it for less than that. And finally, I want to touch on exploring other lines from the brand, including things like their men's line. You can often find a couple pieces from there that are fantastic, and they're actually priced a little bit lower. I don't know how that is now, but I did find it, especially in the past, for sure, there were some men's pouches that could easily be wonderful clutches, and they're priced way cheaper than like a ladies or women's clutch. that's been marketed as a clutch. So those sorts of things, definitely check out the children's line. If they have a children's line, that usually has fantastic pieces. I did actually purchase a belt bag or fanny pack, if you want to say, from the Chloe children's line, which I really did love, although I've really come to terms with the fact that I love the look of them on other people, but for some reason I just really don't gravitate to wearing them myself, so I've since sold it. But they have other fantastic pieces from the Chloe children's line that don't look like a children's piece specifically, that are much cheaper. I think the Chloe children's line is a little bit less in terms of quality from their main line for like their women's or men's lines, so you do have to be a little bit careful or understanding of that fact. I think that belt bag that I did have was made in China, so it wasn't made in the places that they're usually made in per se, but I find they're great value if you're really just looking for that design or that brand. A great option to explore. I've definitely seen some really cute pieces from like the Gucci children's line, and I think those are just as good quality as their main line as well, like for women's and men's. But yeah, definitely always be open-minded and check out especially accessories for children. I do find that oftentimes they might be a little bit childish looking or kiddie, but you do find certain pieces that aren't, and they are usually vastly cheaper than the adult lines, if you were say. And another thing that I have, which I did pick up something from, is a beauty line. So I picked up this Dior raffia clutch from the Dior Beauty line, and this is, I think, going to be such a cute little clutch for the summertime when the weather gets warmer. And this, I think you have to be a little bit careful. I know a ton of people do, I think, the conversion with the Chanel makeup pouches or makeup cases. I don't particularly love the look of that, but if you do, that is a fantastic option to explore, and you'll save a ton of money. And again, these are usually, of course, free gift with purchase or just in those kind of holiday sets and those sorts of things. They're of course going to be definitely lower quality, so you're going to have to expect that when you do purchase these pieces. But something like this I thought was such a great deal, such a great piece if you genuinely like the look of this, and I do. So this one I was super excited. I picked this up for about $50 Canadian. It was a free gift with purchase, so if you were going to purchase something from that brand anyways, I think it's such a great piece to have. I'm not usually the biggest fan of like just their usual makeup pouches because it just has the zip on the top, but something like this, which is literally like a perfect fold over clutch, looks like an actual clutch. So something like this I thought was really well done. So yeah, that is my video on my personal pieces that I have for bag alternatives from these luxury brands that I highly recommend and I personally absolutely love. And of course, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, definitely explore other brands though. If you are not chained to purchasing a high-end luxury piece, there are a ton of amazing pieces out there, and they're just as worth it, if not better value for your money, in terms of quality and price and all that sort of stuff. But anyways, any of these pieces that I've shown in this video that have videos on my channel, I will link in the description, so you can check those out if you are interested in seeing those or learning more about these pieces. But aside from that, if you have any questions, definitely leave them down below and I will do my best to answer them. But aside from that, thank you as always for subscribing, taking the time to watch my videos. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have an amazing day though, and I'll see you in the next video.